Gateshead Revisited.
Correct. Breeks is a Scottish term for what clothing item?
Granny.
Trousers. Correct. A decigram is equal to what fraction of a gram?
Charlotte. Half.
10th. Red velvet cake was first made in what country?
Charlotte. America.
Correct. The city of Dresden lies on what river?
Granny.
The Elm.
Correct. The online abbreviation TBF stands for to be what?
Charlotte. Finalised.
Fair. What TV game show featured Richard O'Brien's mumsy?
Charlotte. The Crystal Maze.
Correct. In English, every day of the week ends with what letter?
Charlotte. Why?
Correct. People in what profession use an endoscope?
Granny.
Correct. The Sunday Islands are part of what country? Brilliant. 19. Could have been 20 if you remembered where you lived, Charlotte.
And no.
19. Happy with that? Very good indeed. Time to bring back the chaser. You know what? I tell you, I think we're a couple light. I think we're better than the 19, this team. I really do. Very good side.
Hey, certainly it is still a very good target. Clearly my attempt to psych out Charlotte didn't work.
All right, now, remember, if the governess gets a question wrong, Charlotte and Bernie get it right, they push her back one step. 19, that's pretty close, I've got to say. It's time for the final chase. Here we go. Chasing your time starts now. The sport of paddleboarding takes place on what surface?
Water.
Correct. What is 24 minus 11?
That is 13.
Correct. The Anzac Army Corps was founded during what war?
The First World War.
Correct. What is the world's second largest rodent?
Porcupine.
Stop the clock. That is wrong.
I've got no idea.
Capybara.
The correct answer is
Beaver.
beaver. There you are. It's 16 to catch the team. 1:42 remaining. Your time starts again. Now, Beacon Fell is what type of dairy food stuff?
Cheese.
Correct. The poet Horace wrote in what language?
Latin.
Correct. What name links an Irish city and a form of oak tree bark?
Pork.
Correct. Martin Fry was lead singer with what 80s pop group?
ABC.
Correct. What type of transport is run by the company Transavia?
Buses.
Stop the clock. That is wrong.
Poszedłeś?
I don't know. So, just go trains.
Trains.
Transavia. It's an airline. 12 to catch, 121 remaining. The time starts again. Now, the Irish 2000 Guineas is run at what racecourse?
The Curragh.
Correct. He directed the 2017 film Hacksaw Ridge.
Mel Gibson.
Correct. What musical
Good movie.
instrument is used to play the video game Rocksmith?
Guitar.
Correct. What type of drink is Mavrodaphne?
Wine.
Correct. How
So
many
I say
kingdoms
one,
in Great
so
Britain
do I
have
say
been?
boo?
Six.
Correct. The Frogs is a play by which ancient Greek writer? Correct. George Formby sang about his little stick of Blackpool what?
Rock.
Correct. In needlework, feather, chain and stem are types of what?
Stitch.
Correct. Who was Prime Minister during the Jarrow Hunger Marches?
Baldwin.
Correct. The Iron Brew Cup is a competition in what sport?
Hurling.
Stop the clock, that is wrong. The Iron Brew Cup is a competition in what sport?
I think it's football.
We think it's football.
Is correct. Well played. It's 4 now to catch the team. 35 seconds remaining. Here we go. The time starts again. Now, red gauntlet is a variety of what summer fruit?
Cherry.
Stop the clock, that is wrong. Here we go. We're right back in it, you get this right. Red gauntlet is a variety of what summer fruit? We need this.
I'd say strawberries, I don't know.
We're guessing at strawberry.
L is correct.
Yay!
We push the chaser back. Strawberry's right. 5 to catch. This will be close. Here we go. The time starts again. Now, what famous TV penguin has a friend called Pingo?
Pingu.
Correct.
No, 'cause it's
Calypso
really
music is said to have begun in what Caribbean country?
Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct. In Hamlet, which character's last line is, "Oh, I am slain"?
Laertes.
Stop the clock, that is wrong. In Hamlet, which character's last line is, "Oh, I am slain"?
They're all dying.
I think he poisoned Claudius because his father.
Need an answer, please?
How many?
Claudius.
Is wrong.
Gertrude?
Polonius.
Oh.
It's Polonius. 16 seconds remaining. Free to catch. Your time starts again. Now, what part of a rabbit is known as the scut?
The tail.
Correct. Who is the mother of Sasha Obama?
Michelle Obama.
Correct. What musical features the song You Won't Be an Orphan for Long?
Annie.
Correct. 5 attempts to push back. 2 executed. Caught with 5 seconds remaining. 1 more. That's all we needed. But look, at least we weren't playing for 70 grand. Bernie, thoroughly enjoyed playing alongside you. Hope you've enjoyed your day.
I have. You know, it's a Morrison moment, a grand day out.
A grand day out. Thank you, Charlotte. You enjoyed it?
Sam joins us now live. Sam, a real sense of urgency now to get that bridge at Nearby Road fixed.
Well, there certainly hasn't been any delay, Simon. Less than 24 hours after this bridge gave way, diggers have already been here trying to clear the debris and start those repairs. But of course, they can't afford to delay because in just 10 days, this mess of concrete and steel is meant to be replaced with a completely new bridge that should allow people to get across and reconnect the West Coast Highway with so many tourists, businesses and locals here in Franz Josef Fox and further down relying on it. You can understand that there's a lot of pressure for them to put it back in place. Thankfully, they have had some reprieve to start those repairs in terms of weather. You can see we're in the sun now, and the river levels have dropped dramatically from where they were yesterday. But we're not expecting this clear weather for too much longer. In fact, we should be getting some rain this weekend around Sunday. We'll see how much they hold up repairs and whether it's going to stop them reaching their goal of having that bridge ready in just 2 weeks.
All right, great work, Sam. Thank you for that. In Franz Josef, Sam Clark.
And it's a bit calmer now in the capital, where the storm brought winds peaking at 124 kilometres per hour today. Emergency services were called to Lyle Bay after a lamppost was knocked over. Strong winds also bringing down power lines and trees. Lead Service says most of the rain has now passed and northerly winds have dropped.
To other news, and in a sign of a city still on edge, Christchurch police have seized a number of firearms following a tip-off from the public.
Officers are now investigating if the man who sparked a major operation posed any threat to the community or had any connections to the mosque attacks. Lisa Davies has a story.
A quiet suburban street, disturbed in the night as police swarmed this neighbourhood.
I kept looking outside and there were lots of dogs and police and guns, and yeah, it was scary.
The lengthy standoff was with a 54-year-old man.
I just heard shouting and it went on for about 20 minutes, asking somebody to get out of their car.
But close to 4 a.m, when police approached the vehicle, the man was found critically injured, a knife in the car. He has since died. The incident occurred after information from the public led police to search a property in St Martin's, where they found a number of firearms.
In a statement, Police Commissioner Mike Bush says a high-priority investigation is underway to decide if the man posed any risk to the community. He says at this stage there's no evidence to suggest he was in any way involved in the March 15 attacks.
500 people have sought assistance since the attacks, and victim support is already distributing money from the $9 million donated online.
Well over $800,000 has now been paid directly to victims to cover a wide range of financial needs.
ACC has had 102 injury claims, 53 of those from gunshot wounds. Today, the Linwood community thanked some who were on the front line on the day.
At the moment, it's more important than ever, because on the way here we see the police officers with the guns, and it's very different for us to see that, and it's it's not the New Zealand that we know.
That presence is likely to continue here for some time, as New Zealand remains on high security alert. Lisa Davies, One News.
And links to the alleged Christchurch terrorist have been discovered on the other side of the world.
It comes as the government reveals our spy agencies are placing extra scrutiny on people of interest here. Katie Branford reports.
This is Austria's flourishing far-right movement, the latest connection to the Christchurch shooting. Austrian group leader Martin Sauner's home was raided by police and electronics seized after authorities discovered a substantial donation believed to be from the alleged Christchurch terrorist. Sauner took to his YouTube page to defend himself.
Seite stehen und unterstützt haben, so war ich ein bisschen müde. Ich möchte aber klar nochmal sagen.
In the YouTube videos, Martin Sauner gives conflicting accounts of when the donation was made. He said he didn't personally know the Christchurch gunmen and said they had only communicated via email. He said he would have tried to talk him out of the attacks.
I think you've got to be a little suspicious of whatever is said from these groups. I mean, what they're trying to do is manage their impression in the media, and so they're going to say things that make them appear less than extreme than they might.
A Kiwi expert in far-right movement says he's not surprised the links have appeared internationally.
The thing that's changed in the last 10 years is the use of the online sites, but also the internationalisation of what I would call an ecosystem. So it's an ecosystem for people who believe in white supremacy around the world.
Far-right groups here say they are heading underground due to the scrutiny they are now receiving.
My experience is these groups disband and disappear, but then they reform, and to think that somehow the far right, the white supremacist right, is going to disappear is just daydreaming, really.
I've heard that some other people who publicly, I haven't heard that from the agencies themselves. They have a job to do.
Andrew Little's also revealed new surveillance has begun since the March 15 attacks.
There is newly warranted activity that is taking place to deal with the issues in the aftermath of the 15th of March. I don't want to go into numbers and details of that.
But Paul Spooner says much of the chatter will be online within secret groups.
The sheer volume of the material, it really is a difficult task for our intelligence agencies to keep an eye on what's happening. So my sympathy with them.
And he predicts that as intelligence agencies keep digging, more international links will appear. Katie Bradford, One News.
The Prime Minister visited Dunedin today to reassure the Muslim community. Jacinda Ardern spent time at the Ar-Nur Early Childhood Centre, located opposite the gym believed to have been frequented by the alleged Christchurch gunman. The suspect lived in Dunedin for 18 months.
You know, the Muslim community here, we're acutely aware of that. I wanted to come to visit with them to hear and talk about their concerns.
Parents at the preschool also asked questions around the safety of their community. Ms Ardern later visited the local mosque where she was praised for her handling of the attacks.
The bodies of 2 Bangladeshi men killed in the Christchurch attack have now arrived in their nation's capital city, Dhaka. Grieving family members were there to receive the coffins carrying their loved ones at the airport. Zakaria Buhia, who turned 34 on the day, worked as a welder in Christchurch, his boss hailing his friendly personality and work ethic. Mohammed Omar Farouk was 36. He leaves behind a wife who's 3 months pregnant. There were 4 Bangladeshis killed in the mosque shootings. And the National Remembrance Service for the victims of the Christchurch terrorist attack will be held at North Hagley Park, Christchurch, on Friday. You can watch it live here on TVNZ1 from 9:55 a.m. It'll also be live streamed on our website, One News Now. And the Peace Train is coming to that remembrance service, just confirmed this afternoon. Cat Stevens, also known as Yusuf Islam, will be performing, as well as Littleton's finest, rising Christchurch crooner Marlon Williams, with other Kiwis, Holly Smith, and modern-day soul sensation, Teeks.
Australia's strict gun laws, which inspired our own clampdown, are in the spotlight tonight. An undercover media operation showing just how far Pauline Hanson's far-right-wing party would go to undermine them. Here's our Australia correspondent, Grandmaster.
Firebrand Australian politics.